You have no time to read. You're a busy CEO, you have so many things going on, and you have 1 hour to either continue working in the business or you have 1 hour to read, to work on yourself. Because let's ask, is you working in the business the true bottleneck? Or is it your brain? Is it you who is the true bottleneck? If you've paid over $30,000 or $100,000 in consulting, like my past clients, then you understand that you are the bottleneck. Your knowledge, your lack of knowledge is the true bottleneck. You can't tell me that it's lack of action because you just lack the knowledge to have a system built to help you apply the action. You lack the knowledge to build the leverage so you don't have to continue. Maybe you lack the knowledge of who, not how. Maybe you lack the knowledge of SOPs. Maybe you lack the knowledge of applying the book Traction, more systems. Maybe you haven't hired someone to help you build proper lead generation. Maybe your true bottleneck is leadership and you haven't applied crucial conversations. So let's continue. Let's solve the problem of you feel like you have no time to read, because I have the solution for you and I'm trying to make this as quick as possible once again. All right, so reading time and eating time. If you know Patrick Bet-David, very successful individual that not only is an author, he sold the life insurance company PHP and runs the #1 entrepreneur YouTube channel. And he was asked, man, how do you read so much? You read more than me, you're busier than me, yet how do you do it? Well, Patrick Bet-David knows one thing, that your reading time should be treated like your eating time. You can't find the time to read, but you can find the time to eat, can't you? You're feeding your biceps, all of these different muscles, but why aren't you feeding your brain? What do you feed your brain? Have you done an information check? What does my friend do? Joseph Nguyen, who wrote the book, Don't Believe Everything You Think, such a good, real bestseller. He's not one of those BS bestsellers, but he controls the information he consumes, and he has read hundreds of books. So to become a better writer, you need to be a good reader, right? So if you ever want to write a book, you need to read physical books, not just listen to them. And we'll get into the neuroscience of that later, but we're talking about the time. The time, you have the time. You're not treating reading time like eating time. You're not feeding your brain because you don't value it. The lie is that you don't have time. You totally have time. We could do this. If you really want to fight me on this, set a 15-minute timer on your day and let it repeat throughout the day. And every time the 15-minute timer hits, write down what you just did. Was it productive? Could you have read at least 30 minutes to an hour a day, or even 15 minutes? The answer is probably yes. So now the blocker is that books feel draining for you. Maybe it feels slow and inefficient. Maybe you don't read because why read? You just forget it. So it's not a lack of time, it's a lack of, you don't have the training to make it efficient. Why go to the gym if every time you curl biceps, it hurts your body? That's what's happening right now. For you, for the people that watch this, they tell me, well, my eyes hurt, it hurts my brain. Well, I read and I just forget it all. We can solve that. It's just we have human brains that are almost like monkey brains where we want to avoid pain. But hopefully, if you're watching this, are you fat? If you're fat, you don't like pain. So you're avoiding the pain of going to the gym. That's not my problem. You could talk to my friend who does fitness coaching. Let's continue. So the 15-minute check-ins, look at your screen time. How much time are you scrolling? Let's be honest. Or do you leave your phone in the other room while you work? Because if you leave your phone in the room while you work, what does that do to productivity? It drops it. Look at the neuroscience of it. I'm not debating you. Stephen Kotler, look him up. Next thing, again, is you might be in multitasking hell. You love audiobooks, but you feel like, so it's actually a lie. Like you're being productive, you're doing dishes, maybe you're making a call while also reading and listening to an audiobook. If you want to build any sort of focus, books will do that for you. But you're avoiding and not making the time to read because you're like, well, if I'm focusing on this one thing, I'm missing out. You have FOMO. You have FOMO brain. And we need to fix that. You're chasing the dopamine of multitasking. And then at the end of the day, what happens? Do you feel like you accomplished that much? No. So if building focus is important to you, that's what you want to do. That's it on time to read. If you have no time to read, go through this. You will find the time to read. And if you feel like reading is not addictive, it's draining you, that is the next video, because that's probably your issue. If this video did not solve your problem, that is the issue. Reading is draining for you, not addictive. All we need to do is rewire it. That's what my whole business does, and let me help you do that for free.